Well, welcome back to the Norfolk Broads this autumn. We're going to show you the cottage filmed on a late November's evening. Light's just starting to fade here. It's a very different atmosphere from high summer. Reeds, as you can see, are just starting to brown off. The land's getting quite soft, and the tracks around this pumping station, which is on the site of the old mill, really is getting very autumnal indeed. Willows have lost most of their leaves already. Quite wintry as we look up, looking north in this view, up towards the coast in the far distance. Just see the cloud where that breaks as it hits landfall about 7 or 8 miles north of us here. I've come down onto the driveway of the cottage. It sits on what is a small island plot with the boundaries marked by drainage dikes, in total around 1.35 acres. Most of it's wildlife habitat with tall reeds and willow, with the marshes behind. And this is the 2 tarmac driveway that leads across the fen into the track system that then feeds back towards the B road, back towards Ludham. The garden's really been set now and tidied for autumn. Very little left in the way of colour. A few old rose buds still flowering on one of those standard roses. The one on the left's put its roots directly through the pot. That's why it's doing so much better than its counterpart on the right. Cottage garden is in all its autumn glory. Most of the colour still on the perennial shrubs, a little bit of colour in the nerines, and the last of the leaves on the magnolia stellata, which has budded up absolutely wonderfully. Really expect that to be magnificent next spring, and we get the pleasure of looking at all those beautiful soft, fluffy, pale lime buds over the winter period. The little dyke that comes into the garden as a feature, not looking at its best just now. That'll be tidied up over the next few weeks and all this cut back, because we planted successfully a load of primrose around the banks of this dyke last spring. They did very, very well. Rose is just about finished now. 1 or 2 rose buds left still. This evergreen planting we've got just to the eastern aspect of the cottage keeps interest all year round. It does very well. This is our Queen of Sweden rose. Very last flower, but there's still bud forming on it, and if we don't get any frosts, we may yet get a bit of colour on that throughout November.